Hello everyone. In this video, we are talking about graphical presentation of CVP relationships using some additional features of Excel. These features can help us save time and they can make our chart more dynamic. So, here we are going to name the cells that will help us in saving time, and we are going to adopt a different approach to label the break-even point because that will make our chart more dynamic. So, let us start by naming the cells. Cell B2 shows selling price per unit. So, the cell B2 can be renamed as selling price. So, in order to rename the cell, we will go to this part where we can see B2. Here, we will type selling underscore price and click enter. Now please keep in mind that whenever we are naming a cell, space is not allowed. That is why we use underscore here. Next, cell B3 gives variable cost per unit, so we will rename it as variable underscore cost. Cell B4, we are going to rename it as total underscore fixed underscore cost. Now, let's name this cell B7 as contribution and B8 as PV underscore ratio. Now, contribution per unit is selling price minus variable cost per unit. Now, please notice that since we have renamed the cell, so when I am writing this formula in Excel, so instead of showing B2 minus B3, now we are seeing selling price minus variable cost because B2 and B3 have been renamed. PV ratio is contribution divided by sales. Break-even point is total fixed cost divided by contribution per unit. And we can also calculate break-even point in rupees. It is total fixed cost divided by PV ratio. Now again we are going to prepare this basic table that can be used to prepare a break-even chart. So in the units column we are going to start with 0, then 10,000. Now we just need to select these two and drag it till we get 1 lakh units. Now total fixed cost is equal to 69 lakh. Now when we are selecting cell B4, it is showing total fixed cost because this cell has been renamed. Press enter. Now here an important point to notice that we are not required to add any dollar sign to fix the cell. And the reason is we have renamed the cell. So whenever we name a cell, then the name automatically points to the fixed cell. So we are not required to add any dollar sign. That is how naming a cell helps us save time. Now total variable cost is number of units multiplied by variable cost per unit. Press enter. Again, we are not required to add any dollar sign here. We can simply drag it and we will get total variable cost. Why are we not adding a dollar sign? Because cell B3 has been renamed as variable cost. So the name variable cost automatically points to that fixed cell. Now total cost is total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Now we will drag this and we will get total cost for the various levels of output. Total revenue is number of units multiplied by selling price per unit. Again, we are not adding any dollar sign to fix the selling price cell because we have renamed that cell. So we are dragging to get total revenue numbers. Profit is total revenue minus total cost. We can drag this to get profit. Now the basic table is available with us, and this table is useful to construct a break-even chart. Now on this break-even chart, as discussed in the previous video, we can show whatever lines we want. If we want to show fixed cost, variable cost, total revenue, everything, then we will select all the columns before inserting the chart. Let's keep it simple as of now. Let us only draw total cost and total revenue lines. So we will select the units column. We will press Ctrl key on the keyboard, and then we will select the other two columns. We are still holding on to the Control key while selecting the columns. Now we will go to Insert. We will click on Scatter Chart, and we are going to choose Scatter with Straight Lines. See, the basic break-even chart is now available to us. We can change the title. We can call it break-even chart. Let's rename the axis. Let's add axis title. X-axis. Let's undo this. So no problem. Let's quickly add the chart again. We are going to select units, total cost and total revenue columns. We will go to Insert, Charts, Scatter with Straight Lines. Since I had deleted the chart by mistake, so I have inserted it again. The chart title is break-even chart. Let's add axis titles. X-axis title is units. On Y-axis, we have revenue and costs. Now, the point of intersection of total revenue and total cost line is the break-even point. In the previous video, we had discussed how to label this data point. We simply click on the data point and then we add data label. But there is a shortcoming of this method. If there's any change in any of the values, in any of the input data values, then the new break-even point will not be automatically labeled. Moreover, in this case, break-even point is 30,000 units, which is a data point here in the table. So it is easy to label 30,000 units here because it is a data point. But what if the break-even point is 35,000 units? Or what if the data is such that the break-even point comes to 31,500 units? How to label break-even point in such cases? So we are adopting a different approach here to label the break-even point. So for that, we'll click on the chart. Let's right click and we'll go to select data. we'll add a new series here, and the name of the series is break even. Here X value is the break even units, because on X axis we have units. So we select the cell B9, and Y value is break even sales in rupee terms. So we select the cell B10. We click OK. Again we click OK. Now this doesn't display anything because we have just added a new series. Now we need to go through some additional steps to show it on our graph. Now select the chart, go to format. Now here we are going to select the series break even. Go to format selection. Now after this we will go to this icon and then go to marker. Here we'll go to marker options. We need to select how we want to mark our break-even point. So we are going to use the built-in options, the options that Excel gives us. These are the options that Excel gives us. So suppose I choose this. And in order to make break-even point more prominent, I would like to change the color as well. Suppose I choose black color here. And I increase the size as well, just to make it more prominent. Now, see, here the point of intersection, that is break-even point, is shown by this black dot. Now, let's label it. Now, select this black dot, click on this sign, and go to data labels. Here, go to more options. Now we can choose to add series name, that is break even, and X value along with the Y value. Now let's see. This is displayed on the chart now. The chart clearly shows the point of intersection is the break-even point, which is 30,000 units, and it also shows break-even sales in rupee terms. Now, one might think, why are we using so many steps if we just wanted to show this information? Now, as explained earlier as well, going through these steps is making our chart more dynamic and more useful. How? Suppose, hypothetically, there's a change in total fixed cost, and our total fixed cost now changes to 62,95,100. So if there's a change in total fixed cost, then there will be a change in break-even point. Now as soon as I will press enter, we will see that break-even point will change. All the table figures will change wherever a change is needed, that is total fixed cost will change and total cost will change, and correspondingly we can see changes in the break-even chart as well. Now let me press enter to show all the changes. Now see, as soon as I press enter to show the new total fixed cost, now the break-even point is 27,370 units, and break-even chart has also changed. Now the break-even chart shows the new point of intersection and labels the new point of intersection. And now notice that the break-even point here, that is 27,370, is not there in this table. So it is not a data point here, but still we are able to label it. So that is why we use this different approach to label the break-even chart whenever there will be any change in the basic data. So suppose selling price also changes to 600. everything will change. Break-even point will change in the numbers as well as in the graph. So whatever change we want to incorporate, we can easily incorporate it and show it through our chart if we adopt this approach. Now our break-even point depiction is more dynamic. Thank you so much.